Yep, it's pretty bad. Pretty bad.
Good morning, y'all. Welcome back to Harmon Homestead, guys. It's a weird day out here. It's the day before Halloween and it's warm. We're in short sleeves. It's warm today, but it's windy and it's just cloudy, dark clouds, and then it gets hot, sunny. So it's just back and forth, back and forth. Everybody's just tired of this. And then tomorrow it's supposed to be blowing in a cold front. We've not had rain in a month here. It's pushed my outdoor cooking back a little bit. We're under a fire warning right now. You cannot start a fire. I wouldn't recommend it. It's because it's windy and so dry. So it's kind of pushed that back. And then 2 nights from now, it's supposed to be 30 degrees. So we're getting the gas logs ready for that and all of that good stuff. Our first frost of the year. So we got a lot going on. Guys, my hickory tree, you can see the one behind me. It's beautiful right there. It's still got beautiful yellow leaves. The other one has just shriveled up. The leaves have failed, and there I've got over 20 gallons of hickory nuts and at least that many more sitting on the ground. I have never seen anything like this. So I've got them inside drying. I've got to go pick these up. But to be honest, I've been a little leery about walking around out here in the leaves because it's just covered, and I've raked and piled those up. But I'm scared I'm going to step on a rattlesnake. I'm not kidding. My sister-in-law run one over this past weekend, so it's been so warm, these snakes are out right now down here in Alabama. So, anyways, that's just a little catch-up. Welcome back to Harmon Homestead, guys. I told you I was piling up the leaves, trying to see where these hickory nuts would fall. And the reason I'm piling them up is because, and that leads into this subject, guys, right now, this is what I want to tell you to do to have the best garden you have ever had for next year. You need to be doing this stuff right now. So the DIY old castle block bed I did, I promise you, I filled it with nothing but rotted logs, leaves, leaf mulch, just dark mulch up under rotted leaves. And then I put probably 1/2 inch to 1 inch of potting mix and peat moss on top of that bed. That's it. That's been the best garden I have ever had. It's a 20 by 20, somewhere along in there. My other raised bed's 20 by 30, and then we've got our pasture garden that's 30 by 100. So we've got all of those, and what I'm trying to do is get all these leaves up. I want to go on and get those in the beds now, that way they can break down. So for all of you who are bagging leaves right now, raking them up, save them. Even the hickory nut shells, I put those in there. Anything that is natural and will decompose. I'm going to tell you something else I got to do this afternoon too. Before this cold weather, we went and got new shavings for our chicken coops. They need something warm to get together, fresh shavings. You need to change it every now and then. That's just part of it. What I'm going to do with all those old shavings, chickens poop everywhere they go. There's sediment in that. I'm going to take those out and I'm going to put them in my garden. Some people are totally against that. We do. You cannot use fresh chicken excretion on your plants. It will burn them up because it's so high in ammonia, okay? But otherwise, it's very high in ammonia and nitrogen, and if that breaks down all winter, it is just pure gold for your garden. So I want to tell you today some things that I think will help you to have the best garden ever. Again, leaves, start composting. Do like an active compost bed. That's what I did in that leaf bed I had. Coffee grounds. Paper coffee filters. I would just chunk anything down in it. Rotted food scraps, banana peels. I just threw it in there all summer. It's been breaking down. You would never know the whole bed is not just pure potting mix because it's turned into compost. Start now. Work on it all winter long, okay? That way, you'll be set for next spring. And if something's a little too hot that you're putting on it, like chicken manure, whatever, it will have time to break down, okay? So simple things. Rake those leaves up. Get them in that raised bed. Next, the reason I showed you the little clip of opening my seed drawer, guys, we're all guilty. Unless you're just, A1 and you've got everything straight. A lot of us, especially us gardeners, will have seed packets galore. We'll have seeds dumped out everywhere. We need to go through it every now and then. We like to collect them. It's just part of it, okay? Down through the years, you'll get something like that, and you want to save your packets and learn from it and all that. Get your seed drawer box. If you put them in a deep freeze or whatever, start getting those organized now. And I'm going to tell you, down here, we are on 7B, 8A, our planting zone. That determines how long our growing season is here in Alabama. We are on the line. I usually lean towards 7B. I'd rather be on the safe side than 8A, but we just do. Okay, that determines your frost date for your first one, last one, all of that, and the length of days you have to grow. We are exactly on the line. So I go a little judicial and I go towards the 7B. That way, I'm a little bit more prepared. I don't want a late frost to hit me or, whatever. Because the zones will cover, I believe like 7B is all the way up to New Jersey, guys. Okay? Their weather is a whole lot different than mine down here in the South. So you kind of have to just understand this, okay? You need to clean this stuff out, look at what you have, and you need to get thinking about what you're going to plant next spring. I know it seems early, and I know most of us have still got plants in the ground. I do. I've got kale and I've got turnip greens. Chickens got into my kale last week after I started harvesting it and ate everything to a nub. I have no more plants really except turnip greens. So, but I know we're still just coming out of summer, but you need to be preparing now, because we always base our planting times on Easter. Good Friday is when we plant. Good Friday, after Good Friday, Easter, we're good to go down here in this zone, in this area of Alabama. So this year, Easter's a little early. It's in March. So we need to kind of back everything up. And what I mean by that is you need to decide what you're going to grow. If you're going to grow something like jalapeno peppers that take forever to germinate, you need to go on and be getting this seed now. And I've got some seed packets here. That's why I said organize your seed drawer, whatever. See what you've got and see what you want to plant next year. Get a list. Decide what you want to do. Now, I know with us, for sure, we're going to do jalapeno peppers, tomatoes, a lot of stuff that's just seed from the seed store. And I'm going to tell you guys, this year I did not start a lot of things inside. I just direct sowed it, and I had all year very poor germination rates, except the things that I controlled indoors. Okay, I've told you before, I have huge glass sliding windows in my dining room. Guys, all you need is some shelves there. You need some plastic cups, foam cups, whatever you so choose, some DIY potting mix. I've done a video on that. Go look it up. Vermiculite, peat moss, and perlite. Those three things together, plant you some seeds indoors. That's it. And then punch some holes in the bottom of your cups, and you have to water them. That's it. You need to start thinking about this now, because I'm going to tell you, the week after Christmas, I will start my pepper seed this year. It takes so long. If you want to plant herbs of any kind, a lot of these, like I did this basil on a heat mat in March. It was nowhere near ready by the time I planted it the week after Easter this year, which was second week of April. So, guys, you need, or third week of April, you need to start thinking about this stuff. What do you want to plant? Go through all of your seeds and see, and look at the back of the packets. There's a ton of information as far as your zone, when to transplant, when to direct sow, all of this. Go through all of your packets and learn as much as you can, okay? These packets have a wealth of information, and when I first started, I'm going to tell you, I did not understand a lot of things on these packets, like hybrid. What is a hybrid? What is GMO? What is non-GMO? What is heirloom? What is all this stuff? What companies sell what? Some companies only sell heirloom seeds that are not hybrids. You need to learn this stuff, and now is the time. And guys, also, I'm going to tell you, sign up for every free seed catalog you can. I get a ton. One is through Southern Exposure Seed Exchange. I use them quite a bit for my stuff, and probably I will be ordering more so this year from them. They send out a free catalog. I can get all this stuff and I can see it, okay? I can understand about these plants. That's how I learned most of what I have learned about planting, is because I got these free seed catalogs in the mail. It'll give you a description under each seed that's available. It'll tell you days to harvest, all this other stuff, and I've learned through these free catalogs. Go sign up where you can. A lot of times it's just as beneficial to buy a seed catalog as it is to buy a seed starting book, okay? A lot of this is just knowledge, and I keep it just like chicken hatchery catalogs that they'll send for free. One I use is Murray McMurray. I've never ordered from them, but I learned a lot through chickens from them. I get that free catalog every year. I'm just saying, it's free knowledge that they'll send to you, okay? So go on and sign up for this stuff now. They usually start mailing it out in January. You can learn. It's great to have around your house. And guys, if you are going to start seeds indoors, I would highly recommend getting a seed heating mat. You need this. If you're going to start herbs, or if you're going to start peppers, things like that. You really, really, really need this, okay? So look at your supplies, get a list of what you want to start, and start amending your garden now. Now, we could go on and talk forever about the different types of plants. I'm not really going to. I want you to look that up on your own, depending on if you care if something's heirloom, hybrid, GMO, non-GMO, whatever, okay? I want you to look that stuff up on your own. I've had, you know, kind of mixed feelings about it year after year. I have different opinions. I'll see something do really well, and I just want to plant all of that type of plant, and then one beside it won't do well. So a lot of it's just the luck of the draw. A lot of it, guys, if you're wanting to be a successful gardener, it depends on how you amend your soil and how you fertilize things, whether you use commercial fertilizer, natural fertilizer, whatever, okay? A lot of it depends on that. So I want you to get those drawers cleaned out. I want you to look through your stuff right now. Again, I know it's early, but it's never too early to start gearing up for spring, because we're going to have an early Easter this year, and I am going to start more plants than I ever have. And let me throw this in there. I went and bought a plastic greenhouse. It was under $100. It was offline. This was the biggest waste of money I've ever had. My plants do better inside, where it's 60 to 70 degrees on average, somewhere along in there. 60 to 80 degrees in that house at all times year round. It's in a controlled environment. Couldn't ask for anything better. I can water it all day. That's not optimal. Now, this was an El Cheapo greenhouse. It was not anything like a high tunnel and all this other stuff. But if you're debating on that, don't get caught up in that trap. Guys, it's not worth it. It is not worth it unless you're going to be able to have a very nice, sustainable greenhouse that you have heat to and all of that. Because if it's a plastic greenhouse, stuff will still, you know, not tolerate a hard freeze or snow in there. It's just not worth it to me. The plastic on it was very cheap. It's already torn. I've got a maple tree kind of near it. Drops limbs just burst through the plastic. It's just the plastic got hot and ruptured and cracked. Just not worth it to me. But be thinking about this stuff. Also, last but not least, now is a good time to be starting to taking care of your garden tools. Need to clean rust off of them, stuff like that. It's a good time to kind of beef this stuff up right now, because I know, guys, a lot of things, it's hard to show you in the fall what we're doing here, because we're really not doing that much. We're not outside. No one is, except getting amendments for our raised beds. We're not planting. We're not, you know, everything's kind of at a lull. I'm more so cooking inside or doing things to prepare for next year. Now, in January, we will start hatching chicks again. It's right around the bend. We've got a lot of stuff to look for that. Sign up for these free catalogs. See what you can learn out of it. And also, last but not least, I want to know what y'all are planting next year. I really want to know. And I don't want to know tomatoes. I want to know like what varieties y'all are planting, and see if what I'm growing is kind of common to you guys. I'm going to tell you, my best tomatoes this year were the big boys. That's what I did. I did tons of different varieties. And I'm going to tell you something else. Homestead tomato. That's an heirloom tomato. I didn't think it would do that well, because I've not had that great of luck with heirloom stuff. It did better than the better boys. Atkinson did not do well for me. I want to know like what varieties y'all are planting. Be thinking about that. Have you changed anything? I'd like to know, especially with the weather and what all's going on. They're saying next year is supposed to be very hot, very quickly. So I'm going to try to get this stuff in the ground early next year. I'd rather gamble on having an early or late frost than I would things burning up, because July on, my garden was done. It was done. It was so hot. Now, peppers were Cadillacing. That's good. Be thinking about this kind of stuff. Let me know what you're planning on planting next year, and if you've made any changes. I'm very curious to see, and it may help me as well. All right, guys. Got more coming out to you. We'll see you next time on Harmon Homestead.